What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with this 5 weeks post Olympia physique update from Behrouz. So safe to say that he has been taking the maximum advantage of this rebound because the man right now is looking absolutely huge. So this is him flexing his upper body after a workout. And again, I'm gonna say if his legs, they were as good from the front as his upper half, he would be a potential top 6 Olympia level guy. So his Olympia debut, that was kind of a big mess because of that tooth infection and that peak with him and Milos, that just did not go ideally for both these guys. Now we know that wasn't even close to what Behrouz can do, what he can bring, and what he has shown us even this year in Dubai. And the reason for him not doing any post-Olympia show was that he just wasn't ready 100% to step back on the stage. So the expectations, they were set far too high and far too unrealistic for Behrouz for his Olympia debut, especially by his coach Milos. Because even if he looked the same as he did for Dubai Pro, where he outclassed guys like William Bonac, Tony Burton, that still would not have gotten him a top 5 finish in this year's Olympia lineup. Because that physique right now, that just isn't there. But as young as Behrouz is, he will come in far better in 2026. Now, can he bring up his legs up to a point where they become a strength for him? Well, I'm gonna say that's highly unlikely, but he can continue to improve on that, continue to improve his balance, and with the kind of conditioning that this guy is able to achieve, he can be one dangerous guy in the open bodybuilding even at the Olympia. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case at his Olympia debut this year. But you look at any other show that he entered, as a pro, he was always granite and hard as a rock. Now I'm pretty sure he will be back to defend his Dubai Pro title next year. And maybe next time, his coach Milos, he should put a little less pressure on him in terms of the expectations. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So talking about Milos, I came across this footage of him and Neckzilla, aka Rubiel Mosquera, where he's trying to measure his legs with his bare hands. And this again just goes to show us what a freaky mass monster Rubiel truly is. Without any shadow of a doubt, the biggest legs in the open bodybuilding as of right now. Probably the biggest that we have ever seen from any bodybuilder since Big Ramy. Now, it's a simple fact. If Rubiel ever gets that deep separation in his quads from the front, if he can bring out some detail and some separation in there, he will become so much more dangerous and such a big threat to almost every single person out there at the Olympia level. Because apart from that, the man has got everything. He has the size, he has the freakiness, he has some very standout body parts, he have a small waistline, especially for a guy of that size, and when that vacuum comes into play, he can create an awesome X-frame, an amazing V-taper. He has some of the best arms out there, amazing chest development. So, a couple of things that he need. They're bigger, more rounded delts, and second of all, more separation in his quads from the front. And if this guy is ever able to achieve that, he's gonna be a nightmare. So as of right now, it seems like Rubiel has no plans of competing anytime soon, and rightfully so. Because this was a very long prep and a very long season for Rubiel, as he was in prep for Dubai Pro, so he spent almost half the year on the prep mod. So it's time to take a break, recover, have an off season, and then come back sometime next year. So Jordan Hutchinson guest posed this weekend, and this was 5 weeks after he made his Olympia debut. So out of all the guys who made their debuts in 2025, Jordan did not place the highest, as that guy was good Vito. But literally everyone talked about Jordan and his potential, because just at the age of 28, he appeared harder and denser than multiple guys who have been competing at that level for so many years now. And him looking that good during this guest posing, that just goes to show us how serious the man has been during this post-contest phase. So there is only one guy in the entire men's open lineup who can rival the likes of Derek Lansford when it comes to getting those shredded glutes and hamstrings from the back. And it isn't just about that one muscle group. When it comes to Jordan, the man is slowly transitioning into a very complete bodybuilder, head to toe, front to back. And the only thing that he needs to worry about, that is his waistline or his lower abdominal region. That has to stay super small while he continues to push for more size. So Jordan made one hell of a transformation from last year to this year. And that is why he was so undeniable at Tampa Pro and Texas Pro, where he beat Quinton Beastwood and Joseph Palacios. But the Olympia look, that was even better. So there is a long offseason ahead for Jordan to make some big improvements. And he has been among the guys who can put on muscle very fast. So he will be aiming for a top 10 finish at the very least at the Olympia next year. Next up, we have an update from Sazan Hirati. His first update after his Olympia debut this year. So the man is 20 pounds up from his stage weight and still holding on to a superb conditioning post-show. Now, if I'm not mistaken, nobody out there did more shows this season than Sazan. So he did a total of 8 shows, which is a very rare happening, especially in this current era. Now the Olympia was too deep of a lineup for Sazan Hirati. And if you're missing a big muscle group, which in Sazan's case, that is the lack of width, especially from the back, then it's very easy to get overlooked by the judges. Also, Sazan lacks the size and the width, I'm gonna say all over, which is something that is needed to stand out at a big show like the Olympia and the Arnold. But him winning 2 pro shows this year, that itself was a big victory, especially after taking such a long break from professional bodybuilding and staying away for almost 5 years, and then come back at the tail end of your career and then becoming a pro show winner. We do not see that happening very often. So he beat Regan Grimes at Toronto Pro and Angel Calderon in Spain. And for Sazan to continue winning shows, he has to be strategic on which show he enters. Now totally understand why he decided to end his run with British Grand Prix, where he again placed second behind Michael Krizo. Now from that perspective, if Sazan dieted all the way till the upcoming Japan Pro or the Big Man weekend, he probably would have had the maximum chance of earning his Olympia spot for 2026. Next up, we have an off-season physique update from Collosus Ken, who made his pro debut earlier this year at the New York Pro, which by the way was a very difficult show to make your pro debut at, considering the lineup. The top guys in that show, they were Nick Walker, William Bonac, and Michael Krizo. But that was a good litmus test for Ken to see where he's at against all the pros who have been competing for a very long time. So if we look at his off-season physique, you can see that he has a tons of muscle for his frame. And considering that his last show, that was months back, which was the Legion Sports, that's a good off-season condition after almost 6 months. So all by himself, he looks pretty damn big. But in terms of the open bodybuilding standards, he knows the more size and density that is needed to be competitive at the highest level. But if we look at his physique from 2023, the year he earned his pro card, and compare his physique to the one that he presented this year, there were improvements made all around in every single aspect. He was able to pack on size in all the right areas and pretty damn fast. And I do believe that in chase of that condition, he did lose a bit of that wow factor, but that is the name of the game. He has to figure out the right formula to have good enough condition while at the same time maintaining all his wow factor. So Ken has been grinding very hard since he did the Legion Sports, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he does and what show he goes for in 2026. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.